It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. Today we're going to be talking about my new team that I'm going to be moving into my defense queue. And this team is being built in the sense that I'm trying to be ready for all metas that are coming against me right now. There are, of course, teams that can easily counter this kind of setup, but here's the overall goal. Normally, right now with the meta, there's a lot of DPS units, a lot of speed units, a lot of damage resistance. So I tried to think of a team that could work around a lot of that, and here's how. Vampire is specifically there to get the back healing unit, whether it be Cream Unicorn, Cotton Cookie, doesn't matter. That's what Vampire is there for. He's using the attack searing toppings to get as much damage into that unit as possible, trying to just take them out. Once that healer's gone, it makes it easier for our team to push through. We've got Affogato there also using searing attack toppings. Biggest reason is because we want as much damage as quickly as possible, and we don't want to rely on crits since our team is not built for a critical setup. So that's why we're not running the apple jelly crits on Affogato, and instead we're running the searing because we just want that damage output. Normally what's going to be happening here is Affogato's going to be either targeting Clotted, Espresso, maybe Vampire. It depends on who their highest attacker is, but the good thing is it makes it so that their highest attacker is not just destroying our team right off the bat and giving us a chance to keep surviving. We've got Wildberry there, who is running the hazelnuts, because a lot of right now what's happening is Caramel Arrow is in a very big amount of teams, and because of that, either Caramel Arrow or Espresso are either dealing a lot of hits or a lot of critical hits. There's a lot of critical focus on both of them, and so for that reason we're getting that critical resistance damage from the hazelnuts, but in addition we're getting good damage resistance substats on Wildberry as well, since both his skill and Cream Unicorn skill are going to push that upward. And then of course we've got Cream Unicorn and Herb, and obviously we don't have the best stats on them. If we could have better, we would, but the idea is Cream Unicorn is going to give us that damage resistance, those burst heals, and Herb is going to be purifying either Caramel Arrow's damage marks, some of the debuffs that we get like stuns and things. So Herb's doing a really big job here, but Herb is only so fast, and the heals can only keep up so often, so that's why we're running the monocle as well. So we're just going to take this into battle, see how it does. It's not going to be every team because there is no perfect team, since there is always counters to other teams. But as you can see, this is a high meta team. Because they are using Affogato and we do have Herb, that's actually a disadvantage on our side because we are doing purification, which means we'll take more poison damage from their Affogato. So that's going to be pretty problematic for us. We might actually lose this battle for that reason, but it's okay. It's a good test. So we've taken out their back healer, so that puts us in a good position. We've got our Wildberry still trucking along, Vampire hitting down their enemy, and it looks like we're going to actually take this one. Even though they are about 5,000 ranks ahead of us, we are still taking the overall damage win. We've just lost Affogato for just the current time. We did lose Herb as well, and we almost lost Cream Unicorn, but it held up pretty well. And if we look at the analytics here, as you can see, everyone's pretty on par of damage on our team, so we don't have like one major unit just shining above all like Caramel Arrow does. We don't have one unit that's doing massive damage on our side. And as you can see, Affogato did a really big amount of damage on their side because of our Herb. Every time our Herb purified our team, that got some really huge damage in from their Affogato. The only reason we survived is both Herb and Cream Unicorn had amazing heals on our side. We had that burst healing that just absolutely trounced all their damage. So we were able to keep up for that big reason. And that's why we're running those two as our main healers. So let's try and get some other teams that are meta that hopefully don't have Affogato Cookie, because that will kill our Herb strategy. But at the very least, we want to try and battle out some others. So here we go. We don't have Affogato in the enemy team here. Our Affogato is going to be targeting their Espresso. Our Herb's going to help purify against their Caramel Arrow and the bleeds. We're going to have our Vampire trying to take out their Cream Unicorn. Our Cream Unicorn's trying to survive against their Vampire. And our Wildberry is getting those counter stuns in against their team, even though Financer's doing a really good protection job on their side. So, not a guarantee that we'll win, but we stand a decent chance. As you can see, our Wildberry's putting in really good work, even though we're running hazelnuts. You would think that it's not going to be strong enough, but honestly, it does a really good job. We do get that second activation with Vampire after the kill point. We do lose our Vampire altogether, but it's a close battle. They have no more healers, so really we're just banking on the stuns and our heals now. But there we go. We've lost our overall damage units, and now all we have left is a healer. So this looks like it's going to stall out, which it does end up doing. So they had at least enough damage to fight us, but we were able to heal enough to not die. Like, you can see our Cream Unicorn doing absolutely tremendous work as far as a healing standpoint. And then damage receive, Wildberry. You can see right there, Wildberry took 4.1 million damage, but we just resisted so much of it so that we didn't have to end up dying. So he was a trooper there the whole time. And yeah, their damage was amazing. Like, that's a really high meta team. You're going to probably see that a lot. We did stall out against it, sadly. Maybe their toppings are better. Maybe their labs are better. So that could be a thing. I mean, you got to think, if we look at our Affogato, we only have 5% damage resistance on Affogato. We only have 8% on Herb. We only have 6% on Vampire. 20% on Cream Unicorn. So we could at least upgrade a few members with some substats to get it a little bit better. But overall, it's just, like, it's close. It's really close. So let's go ahead and take it against another team. This time we have full view of the team. It's double healer strategy. We're probably going to be targeting either Dark Cacao or Clotted with Affogato's ability, and it looks like Clotted's going to be the one that's targeted this time. So that's going to be helpful in our favor, just because if we can take out the highest attacker on their team first, we'll take a huge advantage. Seeing as they have double healers, that means our Vampire has to put in that much extra work to be able to take out their healing strategy. Looks like we did take out one of their healers already, so Vampire did that job perfectly at that instance. And now it looks like their second healer is gone, so now it's just a point of, can we out-survive their damage and out-damage their defense? Which the answer looks like it's going to be yes, because we do end up taking over the team completely at the end here. So, yet again, let's look at the analytics. We didn't actually lose anybody this time, so that's really awesome. Yet again, only like 2 million damage on each side, so we're not doing fabulous numbers that are big, giant numbers, but we're chipping away at them at a very good, consistent pace. Their Clotted did a lot of damage, even though we cursed him, but yet again, Herb and Cream Unicorn just absolutely smashing the field with those heals. So they're doing exactly what they need to do. And their stats aren't even perfect. Their toppings are, decent. Not great, but decent. So if you can build this team, and you can build it with some really good toppings, you can use damage resistance as a safe bet. So if you want to just put almonds on everybody with the other substats that they need, you could do that. I more so recommend cooldown toppings with good damage resistance, if you have that option. And even just attack toppings or critical toppings, if you want to set that team build up, you can. You could run full apple jellies on everybody in this team. That is an option. But you're going to need some really great substats to do that. So there's a lot of different ways to take it. But let me know what your thoughts are of this team. This is going to be my new defense team. So this will be what I use to just kind of guard some of my trophy counts while the timer keeps cutting down on the arena point. It's going to be what I use to try and push a little bit further into Master 1 and maybe Grandmaster, depends on how far I can get. But I still want your feedback and opinions on this team because, you guys play the game every day too, and your opinion and your input really matter to me in so many different ways. But either way, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and have a wonderful day.